No species remembered the exact day humanity went extinct. Only that it happened. 1,000 years ago, during the era of fracture, when the galaxy burned with wars between empires too arrogant to measure consequences, the human homeworld vanished from the charts. Sol went dark. Earth was declared a dead system, its biosphere collapsed, its colonies erased, its people reduced to footnotes in academic archives. The official cause varied depending on which alien historian you asked: runaway stellar engineering, self-inflicted nanoplague, or annihilation during the Tri-Imperial War. The truth no longer mattered. Humans were gone, and the galaxy moved on. Beginning the age after humans. The galactic concord thrived in humanity's absence. Hyperlanes expanded. Species rose and fell. Entire civilizations evolved without ever hearing a human voice. In museums, children stared at preserved artifacts, primitive projectile weapons, crude spacecraft hulls, recordings of emotional music that sounded strangely raw compared to modern harmonic logic. Humans were classified as class extinct, reckless innovators. Their legacy? A warning. Too fast. Too emotional. Too dangerous. That was the consensus. Which was why the signal caused panic. It originated from deep beyond the Perseus Veil, an uninhabited region sealed off after the extinction. The signal wasn't a distress call or a weapon signature. It was a greeting, encoded in a language no living species used anymore. Human Standard. Professor Zelvarin, a six-limbed archivist of the Night Harry, stared at the decoded message in disbelief. This is a message to whoever finds it. We survived. The Concorde dismissed it as a hoax. Until the fleets arrived. Middle, the return. They emerged from folded space without warning. Not through hyperlanes. Not through gates. They stepped out of reality itself. Vessels unlike anything in known space hovered above the neutral system of Kala Prime, sleek, dark structures that bent light around them, surfaces alive with shifting symbols. Their drives radiated no detectable energy, yet they displaced gravity itself. Alien admirals froze. These ships violated physics. And then came the broadcast. A single figure appeared on every screen across the system. Humanoid. Human. But not as the archives remembered. She stood tall, her presence unnervingly calm. Her eyes glowed faintly silver, not cybernetic, but evolved. Her voice carried warmth and weight in equal measure. "We are humanity," she said. "And we have returned." Panic erupted. Weapons systems locked on instinctively. The human woman raised a hand. Every targeting system went dead. Not hacked. Overwritten. "Relax," she continued. "If we wished harm, this system would already be dust." The Concorde demanded answers. The human obliged. After humanity's presumed extinction, a fraction of their species had escaped aboard generation arcs, hidden habitats, and experimental reality-fold sanctuaries designed as last resort survival measures. They vanished into regions beyond conventional space. And there, over 1,000 years, they changed. They rebuilt slowly, carefully, without empires. They merged biology with controlled evolution, not crude cybernetics. They learned to manipulate space-time without tearing it. They studied their own violent history as a disease, not a destiny. Most importantly, they learned restraint. We were not wiped out, the human envoy said. We withdrew because we were not ready to exist among others without destroying them. The aliens listening felt something unfamiliar. Shame. The shock. The Concorde demanded proof. The humans provided it. They disabled a star without collapsing it, cooling its core safely to prevent a supernova that had threatened 3 inhabited systems for centuries. They cured a genetic decay thought irreversible in the Lethric species using techniques derived from human medicine abandoned as too inefficient a millennium earlier. They demonstrated weapons they refused to use. That was what terrified the galaxy most. Humans now possessed force beyond comprehension and chose not to wield it. We are not here to rule, the envoy said. Nor to punish. We are here because the galaxy is approaching the same mistakes we once made. And you think you can stop us, spat a Vorlax warlord during the emergency summit. The human met his gaze calmly. No, she said. We think we can help you stop yourselves. The Vorlax attacked anyway. Their fleet opened fire. The human ships didn't retaliate. They absorbed the energy, redirected it harmlessly into folded space, and immobilized the attackers without a single casualty. The Vorlax Empire surrendered within the hour. Word spread like wildfire. The extinct species had returned not as conquerors, but as something worse. Guardians. Ending the new place of humans. A year passed. Then 10. Humanity did not claim territory. They established no empire. Instead, they became something unprecedented. Mediators in wars that had raged for centuries. Engineers of impossible solutions. Teachers. When asked why they intervened at all, the answer was always the same. Because we remember what happens when no one does. Slowly, alien civilizations adjusted their view. Humans were no longer reckless primitives. They were proof that a species could fail catastrophically and still choose to become better. On a quiet observation platform overlooking a shared human-alien research world, the envoy stood beside Professor Zelvarin. You were dead, the professor said softly. We mourned you as a cautionary tale. The human smiled faintly. We were, she replied. Then we learned something important. What? That extinction isn't the end of a species, she said. It's the end of its old ideas. Far across the stars, new generations, human and alien alike, looked toward a future shaped not by fear or dominance, but by hard-earned wisdom. The galaxy would never forget the shock of humanity's return. Not because they came back stronger, but because they came back changed. And for the first time in 1,000 years, the universe felt watched over by the species it once believed too dangerous to survive.